What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. We continue to keep our eyes on David Sanders. Probably the number one question I get asked is, what is going on with Big Dave? The second most asked question is probably, what do we do? What if David Sanders flips? This is his most recent story on Instagram. Flipped ? Tennessee to Ohio State. Big Dave puts that on his Instagram stories. A lot of speculation, a lot of questions. Let me run it down for you as we've continued to keep you guys up to date here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. Midway through the week last week, he confirmed that trip to Ohio State. Per Austin Price, this trip was agent-driven to improve what is already a very lucrative NIL deal. But he said when the trip was announced, Ohio State is very much in play here. Now, that leads to a lot of questions from us. Is it peer recruiting? No, it's not. Is he going for the sake of taking in a top 5 matchup? No, it is not. Is this due to Tennessee being a possible 10-2? No, it has nothing to do with wins and losses. It's about NIL, but it's not just an overall number. Now, you guys are a lot like me. We start speculating, right? I said all the same things. Maybe he's going just to take another trip. Maybe it's about a dollar amount. And AP confirmed it is about NIL, but it's not a dollar amount. It's other stuff. I have no idea what that other stuff is. Coming out of the visit, Steve Wiltfong reported that one source told him that David Sanders was trending to Ohio State. We start to hear buzz and rumors of a possible second trip to go back up there for the Michigan game this weekend. Still have not seen one way or the other if that is what's happening. Monday night, Austin Price said he's got the Vols at 55%, but you go over to Ohio State, they're on 3 mods, lean towards Ohio State. So we still have no idea. I went over to Go Vols 247 Sports. Here's their update. Said the visit came together relatively quick, according to sources, but there were conversations in the days leading up to his trip to Columbus, Ohio. Over the weekend that suggested it was possible Sanders could travel to another school down the stretch. Many of the rumors that have swirled over the past few days, though, have mischaracterized the situation. That's what we as fans do, right? We speculate. Says it's a complicated situation. The details of the Sanders conversations behind the scenes are likely to remain in private, but there are legitimate reasons to believe the Vols could ultimately weather the storm and hold on to him. Yet there are also reasons for Tennessee to at least be slightly concerned. It goes on to say, while nothing is a done deal at this point, no one should assume Sanders has one foot out the door and is likely to flip. Tennessee still has some work to do if it wants to hold on to him, but sources believe that it's still a very realistic scenario. So a lot of wish-washy stuff there, a lot of back and forth, a lot of one foot out the door, but not one foot out the door. So we continue to watch, we continue to monitor. I wonder if David Sanders is just going to go sit down with his family, make a decision, and take this thing all the way up to the early signing day period. And that's when we're going to know, when pen hits paper, what is going on with Big Dave Sanders. We need him in the boat. He is the heartbeat of this class of 2025 for Josh Heupel, but it's not the end-all be-all. What do we do if David Sanders flips? Will we pick up? We carry on? We go to the transfer portal. I'm going to get into that in just a second. Interesting article from on3.com that I want to talk about, but as always, I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff. Smash the thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy. It helps this channel. If it's your first time here, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We are just like you guys in the chat, in the comment section. We are fans. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe, click the bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Going to be live tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time, Talkin VAWLS live. There is a lot going on right now in the world of college football. We're going to talk about the college football playoff rankings. We're going to talk about the countdown to early signing day. We'll talk about Big Dave Sanders. And, oh, we've got a game coming up on Saturday that if we win, we are off to the college football playoff all tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So come hang out with us for that. But let's get into it. So where do we go? Where do we go if Big Dave Sanders flips his commitment to Ohio State? Saw this pop up on Twitter yesterday from On3 Sports. Florida, Michigan, Ole Miss, Oregon, and Tennessee are expected to be the most aggressive spenders in this December's college football transfer portal window, per Pete Nako. So sources indicate Tennessee going to be a big spender. And when you look at Josh Heupel, when you look at this roster, you know, we talk a lot about where this program was when Josh Heupel took over at rock bottom and what he's been able to do. Year 4, we're looking at a college football playoff. You go beat Vanderbilt, you're 10-2. But if you go back to the preseason, you go back to when we're talking about Nico, the Nico era starts now. There was a lot of back and forth debate on this channel, in the comment section, in the live chats, that 2024 was going to be Nico's year, or was it 2025? that was going to be Nico's year. A lot of people felt like Nico needed a year to get his feet wet. He's a redshirt freshman. He needs time to develop and grow before he is going to lead us to the promised land. Now, the counter argument to that was I think 2024 is Nico's year because we've got a lot of veterans on that offensive line. We got a lot of veterans on that defensive line, and that's kind of been the story this year. It's not been about the Nico show. It's been about the weapons that are around Nico that have set us up for a possible 10-2 run and a shot at the college football playoff. So now we look to 2025, and you're losing a lot of veteran guys, particularly on that offensive line, also on that defensive line. Now, something that this article talks about is how will revenue sharing impact the transfer portal. It says with the House settlement on track to be approved, revenue sharing is slated to begin on July the 1st, 2025. Some sources have indicated it could begin before the summer. Schools will be allowed to share up to $20.5 million annually. Most SEC and Big Ten programs are expected to spend $15 million on college football rosters in year one. It says because of that, for the institutions who struggle to compete with top-funded NIL collectives, there will be a higher floor to work off of, but that doesn't mean that the booster-funded collectives will sit on the sidelines. This is a quote from an ACC coaching member. A lot of people think it's going to be everybody and their mother in the portal, and nothing is telling me that's wrong. A lot of schools have realized you have to keep the players you have to be good. I think it's going to be expensive. Plenty of other factors are at work too. Sources expect the Group of Five to Power Four pipeline to be active. A year ago, 63 all-conference selections from the Group of Five transferred and played in the Power Four this season. In the 22-23 cycle, 1,116 scholarship transfers entered. Last year, the Group of Five saw over 1,300. So I think, obviously, a lot of it's going to be who goes into the portal. Who does Tennessee have an opportunity to go recruit? But we, as fans, like to sit here, and every time a big-time player goes in, we say, hey, drop the bag. Go drop the bag, spend the money, go buy this guy, go buy that guy. Now I like hearing that sources say that we're going to do that. We are set up to go drop that bag and rebuild this offensive line or rebuild this defensive line. And that brings me to this question. I would ask you guys, as you look ahead to the 2025 season, where would you spend that money? So what if Big Dave Sanders flips? Well, you've got Lance Hurd coming back at the left tackle position, and I know he took a lot of criticism early in the year. And something that we have to go back and look at was he was beat up. He was banged up all fall camp. He wasn't really in football shape. He missed a couple of games this year where he wasn't in shape. Now I think you are starting to see Lance Hurd at 100%. He is in football shape, and I think he has gotten better week in and week out. And another year in this system, I think Lance Hurd has the opportunity to be a big-time left tackle for us in the 2025 season. At left guard, Andrej Karic looking to get a waiver for an extra year of eligibility. Didn't go through senior day. That speaks volumes to me. That tells me that Andrej Karic is pretty confident. He's pretty confident that he is going to get that extra year of eligibility. So, obviously, one big one. You got to find a way to replace Cooper Mays. Cooper Mays has been the center at Tennessee since Josh Heupel showed up. There has never been another guy step in as the starting center other than when Cooper went down with an injury. So you've got William Satterwhite. You've got Vyson Lang. You look over at guard, Shamrod Umarov. The staff, you go back to recruiting in the offseason, the staff kind of changed their direction. They were recruiting a lot of tackles. They kind of changed that and looked to the interior because they said they felt happy with Larry Johnson. They felt happy with Gage Ginther, with Jesse Perry. So you got some young guys on this roster. But to me, if you can go into the portal and you can spend some money on an experienced offensive lineman, you do it. Where else would you spend that money? I think if you can get an elite wide receiver, I would do that. Obviously, you've got Squirrel White coming back. You've got Chris Brazzell coming back. You've also got Caleb Webb, Chaz Nimrod. We've all been, screaming and hammering for Mike Matthews to get an opportunity. Nathan Laycock, Braylon Staley. You got a lot of young wide receivers on this roster. But to me, if you can go get a big-time playmaker, you go get him. I think you're going to be fine at running back, even if Dylan Sampson goes off to the NFL. I think Deshaun Bishop has shown he is capable. 54 carries for 372 yards on the year, averaging almost 7 yards per carry. I think he would have seen probably close to 100 carries had he stayed healthy. Peyton Lewis got a lot of run this year, also has 52 carries for 262 yards. I think you're going to be fine at the running back position. You move over to the other side of the ball. Defensive line is another concern for me. I think there's a lot of depth there, but you got a lot of seniors on the interior. You do have some guys like Jackson Moy, David Hobbs, Jamal Wallace. You're looking for those guys to kind of take the next step during the offseason. But I think if you can go get some depth pieces there for the interior of the defensive line, it would be huge for this defense. You look at defensive end, Tyree West, Jason Jenkins, Tyree Weathersby. You look at edge, Josh Josephs, Caleb Herring, Jordan Ross. We got a stacked group of guys on the outside of that defensive line, but the interior, I think, is where you could look to spend some of this NIL money. What do you guys think? What do you like about hearing that Tennessee expected to be the most aggressive spender in the portal this offseason? If you're in charge, if you're in control, where are you spending that money? Jump into the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. I would appreciate it. Go check out the merch. You want it for Christmas. You better get in where you fit in. Within the next week or two, you will have it by Christmas. We got big boy sizes going up to 5XL now. We've got a camo State Pride 2.0 hoodie. We got a You're Muted Coach Jay. So get in where you fit in. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Also, shout out to the members of the channel. If you like what we do, we need your support, particularly as we head into the offseason. So if you like this channel, want to keep it moving forward, think about hitting that join button. You can do it for a little as $1 a month. There's also a link in the description to do that. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, a power T beside your name in the chat, access to fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. But if not, hey, just smash the thumbs up. Jump into the comment section with a GBO because that's quick, free, and easy. But this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.